Hi everyone, welcome to the session today. Today we're showing you a sneak peek of Quirkos Web. So this is our new version of Quirkos that works entirely in the browser. Been working on this for a long time. It gives a lot more flexibility with terms of what devices you use, and we'll show how it will look on a mobile device as well. And it's going to be our kind of next version for the future. So this is kind of the start of the next kind of 10 years of Quirkos really is kind of the foundations that we're showing today. This is going to be launched by the end of the month, so on the 31st of April. And there's no extra fee or anything, so if you've got a subscription to Quirkos Cloud already, you'll be able to just log in, use the desktop version. If you want to keep using that, we can move to the web version. We can go backwards and forwards between both. We're going to have an updated version of the desktop client as well, so there's forward and backward compatibility. So it doesn't matter whether you're collaborating with people who are using the desktop client or you're using the web client, however it's easiest for you. I'm just going to give you a brief kind of tour of some of the new things, some of the layouts, some of the things we've been working on, talk a little bit about some of the other things which are still to come. So you can see I've logged into my account here, and I've got a list here of the different projects which I've been working on, various things I can do to kind of edit them and download them. There's also a quick search here as well for the first time, which makes it easy to find if you've got lots of projects like I have with these test ones that we've been using for testing. We can quickly see all of those. But we can also see a list of projects that have been shared, and project sharing is a lot easier in this version as well. There's just this little share button here. You can invite different people to the share, choose whether they have read or write access, and then of course the big thing with this is live collaboration. So you can have team members working at the same time, you can see them working, you can have chats with them, or you can work just whenever you want to and know that you don't have to merge the project together. It's just all being stored and made in the right place on the cloud. And that's the great thing about Quirkos Cloud. I mean, especially with the web version now, wherever you log in, be it on your phone or a tablet or your laptop or your desktop computer, all your projects will be there, all the same features and functionality, whatever operating system you're using, however you're working, and everything will be in its most recent state. So let's create a new project today and just show some of the different things that you can do. If you've been working with the offline version of Quirkos before, you can just import a project here. So it's forward and backward compatible, as I mentioned, so there's no problem bringing in older projects, even if you just want to work now just on the web version. But I'll click here on the new project button. We'll call this project March Webinar. Oops. And our project's created. So this is our new empty project to work on, and no sources in here yet. See, we've got a much neater and cleaner layout now, which becomes a lot clearer once we've started putting stuff in. But if you click here on the hamburger menu here, we can go back to our project list here and we can see, there we go, there's our March Webinar project we just created. We can go back into that. It's really quick to load everything. We create reports, there's help and different settings here. But for now, we're going to add sources. We can copy and paste in here, that's no problem. We can also import sources as well from files, so PDF files, Word files, and so on. So that's what we're going to do to start with. So we'll click import, and then on the desktop, yeah, we've got the smartphone example here. So we've got a PDF article, we've got some Word files as well, so we can open and bring all of those in at the same time. So we've got now, so this is a PDF, so this is actually an article, which is on smartphone addiction. That's what this kind of example project's about. We've also got these tabs here which are on the left, which correspond to some kind of brief extracts from interviews, semi-structured interviews, and they're from different people in the project. We can also bring stuff in from the web as well, and that's been made a lot better in the new version of Quirkos. So what we can do here is, we have to get a full screen. Oh, I don't have it there anymore. But we can bring in from a news article or from Wikipedia or something like that, very easy. So I have a Word article here. Let me just try and find it. Great, so here's the, oops, let's drag this over here so you can see it on the screen. Alright, so here's an article that I'd like to put in about smartphone addiction. So we can just copy and paste this, and we'll get the pictures and links and everything else we want. Just copy that in there, and then we'll go new blank source, and then we can edit the source from here and just paste in here. There, we've got the whole article here, complete with the pictures. So picture support for the first time in Quirkos if you're working with visual methods as well. And we've got all the nice kind of all the kind of metadata here. We've also got the titles and stuff like that. So we can now import this, and we can code and work with this just like we would with any of our other sources of data. So it's really useful being able to kind of bring in so many different sources of data, and the ways that you can visualize it in the new web client are much more powerful as well. But of course we can still choose create codes and coding. So let's do a little bit of this as well. So we'll do a new one. We'll call this phone addiction. We can choose a color here, or we can choose a color picker to choose any kind of shade that we want. And then as usual, we've got our bubbles which we can drag and drop around, and so we can choose maybe this, and just drag and drop the text onto that, and now it's got added to that. And it all works in the same way as the main Quirkos. So you double click on the bubble for phone addiction, it shows you the extracts here from source 4. We should probably change that, and then we can see there's the text of that. Click on the home button to go to the main view. We can code across here. So somebody using the phone every hour or so, maybe that's a sign of phone addiction as well. Drag and drop that on here. This person's saying, really worry about him, he's got problems with social interaction. But we can also just drag and drop that onto the text here and create a new one, which is social interaction. So it's very easy to create new codes. You can put in a longer description here, and you can also change the color and so on. So now we can see this bit of text here is assigned to both phone addiction and social interaction. So we can code a piece of text to lots of different things and hover over to see what that is. Now we can also work obviously in the same way with the article as well. So this is about social interaction. It's also about parents. So we'll drag and drop this onto the canvas. Create a new one called parents. I think that'll be pink. And we can also obviously drag and drop bubbles onto each other to create subcategories. So now we've got social interaction, and this has got a subcategory under it for parents. And we could have social interaction with friends. Maybe we want schoolmates, I don't know. That's probably quite a bad example, but anyway, we'll have all of these as subcategories of different types of social interaction. And then just like in Quirkos, you hover over there and you can code and interact with these. Double clicking here will show you the hierarchy here, so you can see just the codes from a particular, we didn't code anything to friends yet, but in all the same ways. So most of all the interactions kind of work in the same way. One of the nice new things that we have now is the full emoji support. I know quite a lot of people are really interested into kind of using emojis, not just for kind of like expressing emotions, but kind of looking wider at kind of coding possibilities. So we can create a new code. We can have like a happy one. We should have made that green. We can have a sad one, or maybe an angry one. So for when people are frustrated, okay, yeah, let's change the color here. So we can right click to edit. That will make that reddish anyway. I know the mum was quite angry about this. Yeah, she's really frustrated there. So we'll put this on our kind of anger frustration emoji here. Of course, you can also have this in there as in the sources as well. So full emoji support here. Sorry, we're a bit excited just because we added this week. So got emoji support here, and also in the chat as well. So it's still got the integrated chat, so when you're collaborating on a project you can talk to people in real time, say things like, not sure how to code this one, and And so lots of possibilities for making the collaboration process a lot easier as well. We've also got the search here, so we can quickly find things. So there's our phone code, right there. And then we've got the alternate views that we have. So we've also got the list view. So if you want to work with a kind of more traditional kind of interface, you can see the indentation here, but you can also drag and drop text in here as well to code something into parents or one of the other things, or do any of the same operations that you can here. We've got the overlap view, not very much overlap going on in this project yet, but we can see that too. And then we've got the kind of arranged views here, so we can see in a kind of grid, especially we have started adding more codes, and different ways that we can put it by date or ascending, order and so on. So lots that we can do, working with the codes, manipulating the codes, working with the different sources of text as well. We obviously have the memos as well, so we can drag and drop this text on here, say, if I can get the right bit, we might want to comment and say that this person is, really wanting to, how can we put this? This person is a little bit irate. So we can have those comments, memos appear there as well. And then the other views, I'm probably going to show you another project just to show you where we've done a little bit more work. So I'm just going to open the Referendum project again. You may be familiar with this from some of our other workshops. Don't really have memos here. But here you can see lots of examples. We've got lots more codes showing the kind of relative sizes a lot more, and lots more kind of coding here as well, a lot more work. But we can do things like the query view. So here we've described the properties of these in different ways. So we know the gender, the occupation, and how they voted in this referendum. So we can do simple things like see the results just for the women in the project and what things they're talking about. We can also split the screen as well and run another query at the same time. So we can do side-by-side comparisons of what the men and the women in the project are saying, so different things that they might be talking about. And then we've got all these, the normal things to be able to copy and paste the different quotes that we need, or even the whole lot. So if we want to choose everything that the men said about referendum, we can copy that and put that wherever we're writing up. So all the kind of powerful features that you're used to in Quirkos are here in the web client as well. What else should I show you? We've also got the groups as well. So groups are the kind of non-hierarchical groupings of different quirks. Nothing in this project. We'll also have full undo and redo here, but also a lot more ability to kind of filter here between the different properties. So we might be able to see just sources for the women and then be able to select those particular quotes. This is going to make it a lot easier if you're working with larger data sets. We can also search here as well. So if we want to just find Isla's, we can do a text search there. So we tried to make kind of working with the sources a lot easier as well. You'll also see we've got the standard properties editor here. So that's with this kind of grid at the top right here. And this is sometimes called attributes in some of the other software. And it's basically ways that we can show different groupings or categories for the sources or particular things, often demographic information that we know about the sources. So this person was paralegal, they voted no, but we can add new properties. So we can say source type or data type, this was from a semi-structured interview. And then it's easy just to see the results just from those different things. So it's very easy to create these properties, change the properties, change the different things that we've already inputted there. That helps with the kind of data entry quite a lot as well, and lets you do that kind of subset analysis and looking at the different bits and pieces. So one of the other things I want to show you quickly is So this is our project here, but let's have a look and see how it would look on a phone as well. It's difficult to kind of stream the phone to you, so I've just basically got this set up with the phone interface, just to show you how it works and how it looks. So imagine this was a kind of, like a narrow kind of phone view here, but you can use this view on the desktop as well if you want to. Here's the same project. What we've got here is we can select some text, and we've got a pop-up here of the most commonly used codes. So we wanted to code to this to be about referendum or labour or independence. We can just click the button there to add it and code there. If we want something else, we can choose a list of all the codes here. So it's a very simple, intuitive, touch-friendly operation. We also create new codes here on the fly. Very easy even on a mobile device. And also looking at the data as well. So with the button here, we can see here are all the sources. There's a little view here which shows which are the most commonly coded codes in each of these different sources. We can load, here's Mark's source, code something in there. And then we can also look obviously at the data that's in the Quirks as well. So see everything people said about when they first heard about the referendum, and here are all the results here. So very easy and intuitive to use on even a small device, and with all the same full functionality as well. So it's not like a read-only version. It's a very fun, intuitive way to work with qualitative data and code, even when you're just on the train for 5 minutes, just on your phone or a tablet. And that's one of the great things about the web client. It allows us to not worry about whether you're on Windows or Mac or Linux anymore, but just anything which has got a browser, any mobile device that's connected to the internet, or any kind of operating system, even Chrome OS, will be able to use that now. So this has just been a bit of a whirlwind tour of the different things that we're going to be launching at the end of the month. We also hope it's something that's really going to encourage a lot more people to get involved with Quirkos as well. There'll be no client to install. You don't need to do anything other than just go to the website and start using it once you've logged in. So it makes it a lot easier for IT departments. There's no software you need to install on your computer, nothing you need to download, fewer security issues and so on. And all the data backwards and forwards is still end-to-end encrypted to our server, encrypted at rest and in transit. So we have all the same kind of data protection requirements, and also local servers as well. So we make sure that your data doesn't cross too many international borders, and taking care of all the different GDPR requirements and different requirements of IRBs and things like that as well. So this is pretty much everything that I was going to show today. If you've got any questions while you're watching this live, do put it in the chat, and do take a look at some of our other resources. So there's some blog post articles we've got which show a lot more information about the what's going to be coming in there. If you look on our blog, we also have lots of articles, of course, about different types of qualitative analysis, different types of qualitative data, tips and guidance on that. So there's blog post articles here with a lot more details about the web version. And we're really excited to start sharing it with you. It's something we've been working on for so long and planning for so long. It's going to be a major change to how people work with qualitative data and Quirkos, and there's a lot more that we want to add in the future. So we'd love your feedback and suggestions as well. And if you've got any questions, get in touch with us, and look forward to welcoming you all onto Quirkos Web on the 31st. Thanks for coming along today.